Hey there, this is a continuation of the preterite regular verbs. I'm going to continue on with the irregular preterite verbs in Spanish, and there are quite a few different categories of these. One thing I wanted to comment about on my last presentation was about the nosotros form and the AR. I forgot to mention the hablamos, and it sounds the same as it does in the present tense. So you have to gather from context clues if we're talking about the present tense or the past tense. So, right, because in the present tense we nosotros hablamos, and in the past tense it's nosotros hablamos with the same ending. So if you go, how do we know which verb tense we mean? Do we mean right now or we mean in the past? So there was a list of indicator endings that tell you if something happened in the past. Oftentimes, just like in English, we'll say like last night, yesterday, right? It's a time marker that's showing that something was in the past at a specific point in time and that it completed yesterday, last week, last month, and so on. So these are some common indicators of phrases that show us that it's in the preterite, especially when we're talking about that nosotros form where it could be confusing, like hablamos hoy, today, or hablamos ayer. So we talked today, or we will talk today, or we talked yesterday, ayer. That will be a big difference in meaning, won't it? Okay, so I did forget to go over that. Let's go on to the irregulars. Okay, and the first one we're going to talk about is gar, car, zar verbs. And as you can see here, we still have our AR endings. First of all, they all end with AR, right? However, it's the ones that end with CAR, GAR, ZAR. So I like to call them garkazars. The textbook, the open access resource has little bit different order, but you can do it however it helps you to memorize it. Okay, the key here is that they only change in the yo form. Okay, so this is a very, very specific few. Take a look down at our verb chart here, and you can see it says busque, right? My CAR changes to QUE. So in my yo form only, so I take BUS, I drop my CAR, and I put QUE with an accent mark. It's always going to have an accent mark. Busque. And my emphasis is on the busque, where that accent mark is. But look at the two form, the LAs and the rest of them all go back to my regular pattern, aste, o, amos, estáis, aron, right? They all revert back to that. And again, these are only AR verbs that are car, gar, and zar, and they only change in the yo form. Another example over here is pagar, PAGAR, the GAR drops and it changes to GUE con acento, and then the other people subjects are all the same as our regular preterite tense verb, aste, o, amos, estáis, aron. So just again, they have to be a garkazar, and they only can have that irregular form in the yo form. And then we have a ZAR form which changes to CE. So again, we've got a CAR changes to QUE, GAR changes to GUE, and then the ZAR changes to CE. Okay, that's our first category. Let's go on to our second category is leer y oír. All right, and this one, the key about this one is that it's going to change in the third person, right? See the leís, first person, leíste is the second person, my third person down, leyó, and my third person plural across from it, leyeron. So when we have those double vowels, I like to call these the double vowels, the EE and the OI, we drop that E and we add a Y, leyó. Again, this is only in the third person singular and plural. And leer and oír are the two most common where that's going to happen. Okay, and then we have what we all love in Spanish are those stem changers. And I'm going to pause there and come back and make a separate video about the stem changers and the irregular predicats.